Hey everyone, me Kevin here. I can't believe this. California has literally fallen to a new low. You're not going to believe, even if you're not living in California, you're not going to believe what California is doing to deal with their illegal pot problem. And the result may shock you because we know that California is in a fire-ravaged region. We're going into the worst fire season. We know that NPR has already exposed Governor Newsom as overstating his fire prevention efforts by 690%. Fact check me on that. Just type it into Google, Governor Newsom 690%. You'll see it. But folks, this is literally a new low for California. So quick background, and then I'm going to show you some of these pictures because it's unbelievable. So quick background. In 2016, voters approved recreational cannabis. Then it becomes the government's job to say, okay, well, let's give businesses licenses, and then let's do a tax, obviously, on the cannabis, and then let's sell cannabis legally, because that should be a revenue stream, right? Well, in 5 years, we've literally only gotten to the point of 20% of cannabis sales actually being legal. 5 years of legality, and only 20% is legal. Why? Because every single city has different rules, permits, regulations. You file for a permit, you get sued by all the neighbors because of CEQA violations, so you can go through 2 years of lawsuits to try to build your cannabis dispensary legally or to build your farm legally. It is so broken how hard it is to actually get business done in California, and the legal cannabis businesses in California are suffering. After doing so much research on how complicated the cannabis regulations are, I stopped investing in cannabis stocks. Like, I'm gonna be blunt. People are like, oh, cannabis is getting legalized in California. Well, it's a crap show out here. It's not even close to being good legal cannabis because the illegal system is so much more efficient and so much more profitable. And there's virtually no enforcement for the illegal portion of cannabis. How do we know this? Well, take a look, folks. It's been 5 years. Keep in mind that of the legal cannabis businesses in California, 90% are on provisional licenses. So 90% of the legal businesses still don't actually have real licenses, and they could get shut down because the provisional licenses only last for short periods of time. As a result, the Los Angeles Times put together this massive expose on how illegal cannabis grow farms in the Mojave Desert have literally tripled in the past year. Between 2020 and 2021, illegal cannabis farming has tripled. In this article, they tell stories of, for example, the sheriff of San Bernardino County saying, we will go raid these farms on a Saturday and they will be back up and running again on Wednesday. This is a lawless region known for murders. The farmers, the cartels, don't even have to worry about bringing stuff over the border. They just build their farms in California, and they don't have to worry about Border Patrol because there's basically nobody enforcing laws out here. As a result, they use a lot of our groundwater, which California's in a drought. They pollute our ground because they don't have trash service, so they just throw everything in piles, and they pollute our landscapes, our grounds, and our rivers. And what's California doing about it? Let me give you an example, okay? I'm just going to Google search $500 here. Here we go, okay? Ready here? Here you go. Here's a farmer. I aim to make about $100,000 off 100 plants, or $1,000 per pound. It was about a year ago, he said, that he returned from lunch one afternoon to discover my grow was full of cops using machetes to chop down the plants. Some plants were so big they needed 2 or 3 whacks to knock down. The officers handed the grower a misdemeanor citation punishable with a $500 fine or up to 6 months in jail. And then the story goes on to say that when he went to court, they didn't even file his ticket. So he didn't even have to pay his $500 fine. And so basically, he just went right back to growing. But what do you think? Well, first of all, before I tell you what California is doing about this, which is just like this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, it's worth mentioning that Governor Newsom brags about leading the effort. See, take a look at this. I'll just read it to you. I led the effort to decriminalize and legalize cannabis because the war on drugs has been an abject failure with disproportionate and devastating impacts on the colored community. That's great, Governor Newsom, but you've been governor for over 3 years, and we've had legalized cannabis now for 5 years, and our illegal pot farming just tripled in the Mojave Desert. the problem's getting worse, not better. And you're decriminalizing and then legalizing cannabis is the reason why the illegal farms aren't able to get shut down, because they're getting $500 citations. And they're like, you know what? A $500 citation is cheaper than me actually applying for the building permit, or paying the taxes, or the legal fees to fight the SICA violations or potential SICA lawsuits that people can file anonymously against you. Folks, California is broken. It's no surprise. But you want to see the stupidest thing yet? This just irks me. And this is one of the reasons, actually, seriously, this is one of the big reasons, this kind of mentality, one of the big reasons I'm running for governor in California, to try to fix this kind of crap, because it's just downright stupid. Okay, ready for this? Watch this. Let's type in the word hydrants here. There we go. In the midst of a worsening drought, which, keep in mind, not only is it a worsening drought, but it's fire season, growers have stolen water from agricultural wells and aqueducts, or have broken open fire hydrants. So much was stolen from hydrants in late March that plummeting water pressure compromised firefighting operations. In other words, firefighters are having trouble fighting fires because these illegal farms are stealing all the water. So let me ask you folks, what would a logical solution be? Oh, how about we shut down the illegal farms? Like, stop the crime. Wow, we have laws. Why don't we actually enforce the laws and stop the crime? It's illegal to steal water from a fire hydrant. I got a fire hydrant right out here. I don't get to hook up to that and fill my pool, but they get to do it? So rather than enforce the law or enforce the crime that's happening, guess what California's solution was? Are you ready for this, folks? You better be sitting down, because this is literally... I'm just going to hold it, okay? As a result, the Los Angeles County Fire Department ordered the removal of 100 hydrants in the Antelope Valley. Folks, you have got to be kidding me. I don't even know what to say anymore. This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. California is the 5th largest economy in the world. It is a beautiful state, and it's got great people in it. People who are capable. But I think Californians realize the more we look at what's happening in California, the more we're like, oh yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. Like, you couldn't even make that story up. Like, I don't even think I could imagine a more ridiculous answer to solving the problems in California. Oh, we have crime. They're stealing water from our fire hydrants, which we need the fire hydrants to fight fires. Well, how about then, instead of dealing with the crime, we just remove the fire hydrants and, oh well, to firefighting efforts around where those fire hydrants were. This is nuts. It's stupid. Folks, this is the kind of lack of common sense that we have in government right now. This is why when I say I'm running for governor to be a common sense governor, this, folks, is a sign of poor leadership and a lack of common sense. This is what needs to be fixed. If you want to learn more about my policies and my campaign, please go to meetkevin.com and consider supporting the campaign. Thanks so much for watching, and folks, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.